Curse of the Werepony 2, Chapter 1, Confessions, by Stephen Little. My Little Pony and all associated characters are copyright by Hasbro. In the late hours of the night, a mighty thunderstorm raged outside the Carousel Boutique. Rarity, the store's sole proprietor, lied awake in her bed, gazing at a picture of herself with a specific purple earth pony stallion with a green mane. Casually, she looked at the heart-shaped frame next to it on her nightstand. A photograph of a small young green and purple dragon was held within it. "Oh, Spike, why do you always seem to be out of town when I need you the most?" she thought to herself. The blue-eyed unicorn mare quickly sat up in her bed when she heard the door to her bedroom slowly creak open. A white unicorn filly with green eyes and a curly purple and pink mane and tail poked her head into the room. "Rarity, are you awake?" she asked in a whispered tone. "Sweetie Belle, it's 2 in the morning. What in the name of Luna are you doing still awake at this hour?" "I couldn't sleep. The thunder keeps waking me up," she said. The young unicorn scuffed her right hoof against the floor. "I was wondering if I maybe could stay here with you tonight." "I see. Well, the noise is keeping me up as well. I suppose it would be all right as long as you don't fidget too much," Rarity said, smiling at her. As the filly bounced over to the bed, Rarity lowered the picture of Spike's face down. Sweetie Belle put her head under the blanket at the edge of the bed, then climbed up the side and burrowed her way next to Rarity. The elder unicorn giggled at her antics. "Hey sis, who's that stallion in the picture over there?" "Oh, him?" she asked nonchalantly. "He's no pony too important." "Then how come you have a picture of him on your nightstand, and how come you're kissing him?" Sweetie Belle asked her suspiciously. "He's just a pony I met a couple of months ago, but he's not around anymore and I don't think he's coming back," she told her. "Why not, sis?" Rarity looked away, obviously not wanting to answer the question. With a heavy sigh, she faced the younger unicorn. "Sweetie Belle, that stallion was and still is very special to me. However, in a way, he doesn't exist anymore. It's a very complicated story and I don't think you are old enough to understand." "Rarity, I'm 10 years old. I'm not dumb," she said with an upset pout of her face. "Oh, no, Sweetie Belle, would never think you were dumb," she said, hugging her tightly. "It's just, well, I'm not sure how you'd take it if I told you the truth." "How bad can it be?" the unicorn filly asked. "I promise I won't freak out or scream or anything if you tell me. I promise," she said, crossing her heart with a hoof. "I suppose you have a right to know, especially with recent developments," she admitted. "Sweetie Belle, you remember a couple of months ago when the girls and I had to go to Canterlot for a few days? Yeah, you said Spike was sick or something like that, and they needed you at the palace." "Correct. But I wasn't entirely truthful with you. Spike wasn't sick. He was bewitched by a terrible curse. You see, Spike had been turned into a werepony." "A werepony? What's that?" Sweetie Belle asked, confused. "A werepony is what happens when a young dragon like Spike is bitten by a pony with ponypox. At the light of the full moon, the dragon changes into a pony. Twilight didn't mean to bite him when she was sick. It was an accident, but that's what happened." "That doesn't sound so bad," she said. "You don't understand, dear. The stress of changing back and forth from dragon to pony over and over again was too much for Spike's body, and if left untreated, it would have eventually killed him," Rarity explained. "Oh my gosh, that's horrible! So does it mean—" Rarity picked up the photo and set it between them. "Yes, the purple stallion in this picture is Spike." "He's really cute," she said bluntly. "Yes, I was quite taken with him as well, but I want you to understand. Spike was always Spike, sort of. His personality didn't really change." "What do you mean, sort of?" she asked. "This is a complicated part I was warning you about. You see, while Spike was a pony, his emotions were, how shall we say, overpowering. When he got sad, he got very sad. When he was happy, he acted a lot like Pinkie, bouncing around and wearing a smile so big it could light up the night." "Uh-huh," Sweetie Belle commented, watching her sister getting lost in the description. But when Spike got mad, that's when he nearly turned into something quite scary. "What happened?" the filly asked. "He didn't hit you or anything, did he?" "Absolutely not. Actually, another pony, a very rude and mean pony, tried to grab me and take me with him, but when I told him no, he hit me across the face. Spike went wild. He thoroughly trounced that stallion in a matter of seconds, and when the police came to arrest that other pony, Spike told him that if he ever came near me again, he'd kill him. I was very touched by Spike's gallantry and a little frightened as well." "Wow, so what happened next?" the younger unicorn asked. "Well, we had dinner and talked a lot, mostly about me and him. You see, before I knew Spike had changed into a pony, I had said some very mean things about him. After a lot of apologizing, Spike forgave me, and to be honest, we had a very wonderful evening. He was a perfect gentle stallion the whole time. We walked through Canterlot, and he showed me all the sights that not many ponies get to see. We stumbled upon a party, and we danced together for half the night. Oh, Sweetie Belle, it was so romantic." "It sounds like it," she sighed happily, Rarity's tale playing out in her mind. "Spike was getting tired, so we stopped at a very nice spot away from prying eyes and we talked some more. Spike had to make a decision whether to go back to being a dragon or stay as a pony and risk only living for another 10 years or so. He actually decided to stay a pony." "Really?" the filly asked. "But I saw him a couple of days ago when he left the shop. If he chose to stay a pony, why is he a dragon?" "Because I talked him into it," Rarity confessed. "I couldn't let him do that. I couldn't let him betray who he is just for me." "Wait, what?" she asked, confused. "You need to understand, Sweetie Belle. Spike and I have, you see, Spike confessed that he's had more than a crush on me for a long time. He said that he loved me. And I realized that while I've been chasing after stallions, I've looked over the one boy that makes the others pale in comparison." "You're in love with Spike?" she asked in shock. "To put it bluntly, yes, I love him," Rarity said, picking up the heart-shaped picture frame on the nightstand. She carefully gave it to Sweetie Belle as if it was the most precious thing to her. "Spike and I shared something wonderful that night. It's something that I don't think I'll ever forget as long as I live." "You two had sex?" The shock was obvious in her voice. "I forget sometimes that they already covered sex ed in your class. I swear they keep introducing it earlier and earlier. Oh well, no, Sweetie Belle, we did not have sex. It was much more than that. I've never felt that loved in all my life, and now something came up and I don't know what to do." "What's wrong, sis? You look worried." "It's nothing. It's just, I think I might be pregnant." Rarity hugged her sister tightly. "Oh, Sweetie Belle, what am I going to do?" "Well, Miss Cheerily said that when ponies think they might be pregnant, they should go to the hospital and have a test done, then they'd know for sure. So maybe tomorrow you should go there and find out." "Of course. Hey, when did you get so smart?" "I learned it from you, big sis," Sweetie Belle said, yawning loudly. "Oh my, it's so late. We should get some sleep if you're going to come to the hospital with me tomorrow," Rarity said, placing the pictures back on the nightstand, then laying her head against the pillow. "Can I really come with you?" the little unicorn asked with excitement. "Absolutely. I'd love to have you with me for this. You're the best big sister ever," she said, snuggling next to her. "You should probably send Mom a letter too, just in case. I miss Mom. I wish she were here right now," she said as she fell asleep. Rarity softly stroked Sweetie Belle's mane as tears softly spilled down her cheeks. "Mama's here, my darling. I'm sorry to keep the truth from you for so long. Soon, dearest, I promise. As soon as things aren't so stressful, I'll tell you." Rarity and Sweetie Belle strolled into the conservatively furnished lobby of Ponyville General Hospital. "Good morning, Nurse Redheart." "Good morning, Sweetie Belle. What brings you and your sister here today? I hope you're feeling okay," the nurse said from behind the reception desk. "Oh, it's not me. Sis here thinks she got herself knocked up, so she needs to see a doctor to make sure," she said cheerfully. "Sweetie Belle!" Rarity shouted in embarrassment. Nurse Redheart had nearly turned completely red. She waved a hoof at the two unicorns. "It's fine. I've heard much worse. Is it true, though? Do you think you're pregnant?" "I think so. My estrus is 2 months overdue. I don't know what else it could be." I see. Sweetie Belle, you'll need to stay here until the doctor has had a chance to examine your sister, okay? Sure thing, I'll just hang out and read. Have fun, sis! The unicorn hung her head in frustration as she followed the nurse back to one of the examination rooms. Miss, Rarity, it really is okay. There's no need to be embarrassed. We handle these sorts of things all the time. They usually turn out to be false alarms. Red Hat opened the door for her and allowed her to enter. Wait here and the doctor will be with you shortly. Rarity waited for what seemed like forever when the doctor walked in. The doctor had a brown coat that was mostly hidden by his light green smock. His curly orange hair was held in a weird shape by his head mirror, almost like a muffin. The stallion was known as a local pediatrician, and apparently he took care of pregnant mares as well. "Good morning, Miss Rarity. What brings you here today?" he asked. "I think I'm pregnant, sir. My estrus is 2 months late," she informed him. "I see. Well, lots of things can cause that. Not to be blunt, but have you engaged in intercourse lately?" Rarity blushed wildly. Yes, 2.5 months ago." "Nothing since?" he asked. "No," she said. "Sorry, I really do not mean to pry, but what about before the last occurrence?" "It's been a very long time since I've been with the stallion, a little over 10 years actually," Rarity stated emphatically. "I see. Well, we best have a look. Please lay on your side and I'll have a listen." Rarity laid down on the examination table while the doctor put on his stethoscope. He breathed lightly on the instrument's head to take the chill from the metal, then placed it against her abdomen. He moved it around for several places, listening carefully each time. Finally, the doctor stood up and stretched his back. "No doubt about it, you're pregnant. Strong heartbeat too. I'd say 2.5 months is about right. Would you like to listen?" "Can I?" she asked. The doctor put the earpieces in Rarity's ears and placed the head back against her abdomen. She listened closely, ignoring the various noises her stomach made. Straining her ears, she finally heard it. Whooped-up, whooped-up, whooped-up. As you can hear, a perfectly healthy heartbeat. Now, I don't think I need to tell you, but no drinking and if at all possible, avoid any kind of noxious fumes from glues, paint or any kind of harsh chemicals. "Yes, sir, I understand," she said, sitting up. "Is there anything else?" "Yes, I know of your profession and I want you to try and avoid any kind of strenuous use of your magic. I've heard how you can use your magic to practically create an entire wardrobe in only a few minutes. Recent studies have suggested that strenuous use of magic may cause complications." "I understand. I could use a vacation anyway. It'll give me more time to focus on other matters," Rarity said. "Very good. Now I want to see you back in here next month and the month after that to track your pregnancy progression." The doctor could see concern growing in the mare's expression. "It's nothing to be concerned about. It's just better to be safe than sorry." "I understand. How does the first Monday of next month work for you?" she asked him. "I'm sure it will be fine. I'll pencil you up at the front desk. Until then, try and take it easy," the doctor said as he opened the door for her. "The lobby is down the hall to your left." "Thank you again, sir," she said as she walked away from the examination room. Out in the lobby, Sweetie Belle had fallen asleep. Sweetie Belle, it's time to go." The young unicorn yawned and stretched. "Hey sis, how'd it go?" "You're going to be an aunt." "Yay!" she cheered. "Sweetie Belle, I need to run some errands around town, so why don't you go play with your friends for a while?" Rarity leaned down and whispered in her ear, "Please, dear, whatever you do, please don't tell any pony about the baby. I want to talk to Spike first. He deserves to hear about it from me, okay?" "Okay, big sis, I won't say anything, I promise," she said as she bounced out the door. The bell above the door of Sugar Cube Corner rang merrily as Rarity entered the confection store. Approaching the counter, the unicorn's nose was assaulted by the aroma of the many cakes, pies, muffins and other pastries that had been freshly baked that morning. "Good morning, Miss Rarity. What can I do for you today?" Mr. Cake said as he entered from the kitchen. Mr. Cake was a tall, lanky stallion with a distinct underbite. His coat was brilliant amber yellow, and his mane and tail were light orange that set off his green eyes nicely. "Hello, sir. I was wondering if Pinkie Pie was here today and if you by any chance might have some strawberry muffins back there." "Pinkie's still upstairs. Says her Pinkie sense has been going crazy, so we gave her to take the day off," he told her, placing a basket of muffins on the counter. "And here you go. We just pulled a whole batch of strawberry muffins out of the oven. Have as many as you like." "Thank you, sir." Rarity scooped up the whole basket and trotted upstairs. Pinkie skipped over to her door and opened it after she heard a light knocking. "Hiya, Rarity," she said as her ears flapped like mad and all 4 of her legs were twitching. "Pinkie, dear, are you all right?" she asked, concerned. "Oh yeah, but my Pinkie sense is telling me some pony has important news for me, and if I leave my room I might miss a pony who has the really big news for me. Oh, I wonder what it is," she gasped. "I wonder if it's a new flavor of sweet like chocolate pecan pistachio nut cookie. Oh wait, it can't be, because I invented that last week." The pink party pony noticed the basket of muffins on Rarity's back. "What's with the muffins?" "Oh, sorry, I was hungry," she tried to explain. "Yeah, okay, but all of them? I mean, you never really eat all that much." "I guess I'm just really hungry and I really wanted to talk to you about something," Rarity said, popping a muffin into her mouth and munching away happily. "You're the pony with the big news for me? But I thought you weren't that good at baking, so how could you come up with a new cookie recipe? Unless maybe it's not cookies, maybe you designed a new line of chef hats or aprons, or oh, did you make a special dress for cooking?" Rarity put the basket on the ground and ate another muffin, waiting for Pinkie Pie to finish her ramblings. "Pinkie, do the hats have ribbons or maybe flowers?" "Pinkie." "Oh, I hope the dress is all frilly and lacy, but all the frills might get too close to the ovens and catch fire. You may have to remake it so it's safe for the kitchen." "Pinkie Pie!" "Yes, Rarity?" "Pinkie, I'm pregnant," Rarity told her. The pink pony's body returned to its normal state. "I guess that was it. Wait, you pregnant again?" "Yes," she said casually, eating another muffin. "Oh, Rarity, I'm so happy for you," Pinkie Pie said, hugging her tightly. "So, who's the lucky daddy?" Pinkie asked. Rarity stopped eating mid-muffin and set it down. She looked away from her, unsure of what to say. The white unicorn blushed slightly and whispered her answer to Pinkie. "Could I hear that again? I didn't quite hear you." Rarity whispered again, a little louder. "One more time?" Pinkie asked. "It's Spike," Rarity confessed. "What?" she shouted. "You and cute little Spikey Wikey? But that's not even possible. I mean, he's a baby dragon. He's not old enough to, well, you know." "Well, he was old enough when he was a pony," Rarity said, blushing. Oh, I get ya. So when you had him all to yourself while he was a pony, you put the moves on him," Pinkie said, smiling, nudging Rarity slightly. "So, you're not disappointed?" "Disappointed? Are you crazy? Rarity, I'm so happy for you. I've always thought you and Spike would hit it off. You're too perfect for each other." Rarity smiled in spite of herself. "Ever since I came to Ponyville, for 10 years I've looked for the perfect stallion, that one-of-a-kind pony that I could trust with anything. Who knew my perfect pony would turn out to be a dragon?" "Weird, huh? Hey, I have a great idea. Twilight and the others are planning Spike's birthday party at the library. We should go and tell them the good news too," Pinkie suggested, bouncing around her guest. "What? Right now?" "Sure, no time like the present. Grab your muffins and let's go," Pinkie said, pulling Rarity out the door with her and down the stairs. Back at the library, Twilight, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Fluttershy were entertaining the newest visitor to Ponyville, Spike's sister Emerald. The main area of the library was just that, a library. On the north wall was a small fireplace, but the rest of the walls were covered in bookshelves from the floor to the ceiling. The west area of the room had a small broad staircase leading to a large area with a table and stools. This portion of the library was called the Nook and was backed by a large back window. This spot was where ponies could have a snack while they read or give them room to spread out while studying. The center of the room had a large sunken area where the main reading table was located. The pit, as it was called, was lined with couches around its perimeter. The east wall had a door that led off to the upstairs living quarters and another led to the kitchen and first-floor bathroom. The 4 mares sat around the table in the nook talking to their new dragoness friend.
"So how you liking it here in our little town, Emerald?"
Applejack asked her. "It's just fine, thank you very much." "Oh my, you have such lovely manners," Fluttershy said. "I suppose so. Part of a dragon's education is comprised of lessons in manners and proper etiquette," Emerald explained. "So they sent you to school just to teach you how to curtsy and say thank you? Sounds lame." "Rainbow Dash, that's not a very nice thing to say. You know, you could benefit from a little of that yourself," Twilight reprimanded. The dragoness laughed. "Oh, Twilight, it's quite all right. I must agree with Miss Dash, though. The lessons did get quite tedious after a while," she said. "I'm glad I'm done with it. The history and geometry lectures I'm attending now are much more interesting." Pinkie Pie barged her way into the library with Rarity and her muffins in tow. "Here, girls, I brought Rarity to help plan Little Spike's party." Rarity and the pink party pony looked up at the green dragoness sitting at the far end of the table. Emerald's name suited her perfectly. Her scales were the most perfect emerald green color Rarity had ever seen. She sat almost half as much taller than the others, and her green eyes deep purple in color as well as the spines going down her back. Unlike Spike, however, it appeared she walked on all fours instead of upright like her brother. I'd love to stay, but I have something I need to take care of," Rarity said as she headed towards the door with her basket of muffins. "Oh, no you don't," Pinkie said, grabbing hold of Rarity's tail with her teeth and dragging her to the table. "Pinkie, if Rarity has other plans, you really shouldn't stop her from leaving," Twilight told her. "The only plan she has is to avoid you girls and especially you, Miss Dragon." "Avoid me? Have I done something wrong?" Emerald asked. "No, not at all," Rarity reassured her. "Rarity, tell them it's nothing to be ashamed of," Pinkie told her. "But—" she hesitated. "Rarity, either you tell them or I will," Pinkie Pie threatened. "You never made me promise not to, so don't think for 1 second I won't."
"Rarity, what's Pinkie babbling about?"
Applejack asked. The white unicorn was staring daggers at Pinkie Pie. She looked around the room. Expressions of concern were on the faces of all her friends. Rarity hung her head and sighed in defeat. I'm pregnant." There was a collective gasp around the table. "Rarity, that's wonderful news," Twilight said. "Why wouldn't you want to tell us? We're your friends after all." "I wasn't sure if you'd understand," she said. "Just wait, it gets better." "Pinkie Pie," Rarity complained. "Why do you have to make it so hard?" Rarity, if you don't mind me asking, I was wondering, who's the father? I never really see you around with any pony." "Fluttershy has a point. You spent all your time hanging with us. Where did you find the time to snack yourself a stallion?" Rainbow Dash asked. "It came up rather unexpectedly. I never thought this would happen. I didn't plan for it. It just happened." Rarity looked up at Twilight, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Twilight, please forgive me. I didn't mean for this to happen." "What's going on, Rarity?" the purple unicorn asked. "It's Spike. Spike is the father." "Oh my," Fluttershy said, trying to hide the blush on her face.
"Gala?"
Applejack said.
"What? You did what with my baby brother?"
Emerald shouted equally as loud as Twilight. Wait, so let me get this straight. While Spike was a pony, you jumped his bones?" Rainbow Dash asked. "So awesome!" "That's not awesome, it's practically molestation," Twilight shouted again. "I know I said you two were good together, but I didn't mean anything like this, or at least not this soon." "I never thought you'd be the type of pony to take advantage of some pony as innocent as little Spike," Fluttershy said. "It wasn't like that at all. You all know what happened when Spike and I left the castle that night, right?" Rarity asked, hoping they'd remember.
"Yeah, you told us. That big jerk Blueblood was getting fresh with you and hurt you, then Spike beats the tar out of him," Applejack said.
Yes, but after that we sort of went on a date. He was so sweet and a perfect gentle stallion. He behaved more like a prince than Blueblood could ever hope to be. I treated him to dinner for his gallantry in defending me, and later he took me dancing. It was so wonderful. We sat under the stars at the overlook and talked for a while. He looked into my eyes and I looked into his. He was so cute and innocent, and the things he said to me, no pony has ever said those things to me or touched my heart in the same way. Oh, it's so hard to describe. Half the mares in attendance sighed at the romantic scene the white unicorn painted for them. Wow, Rarity, it sounds like you're really in love with him. I am, Fluttershy. I haven't felt this way in such a long time. But, Rarity, you had to know Spike would return to being a dragon. Didn't you even consider what might happen? Twilight asked her. Of course I knew, Rarity said, tears falling from her eyes. I was there, remember? I helped you seal his form. I forced him back to the young dragon he was supposed to be, and it nearly broke my heart to do it. Applejack and Fluttershy walked around the table and hugged her, trying to comfort the emotional unicorn. It's okay, Rarity. We were just a little shocked, that's all, Fluttershy told her. The pregnant mare felt Emerald's claw rest comfortingly on her back. Tell me, dear, if you say you love my brother so much, why would you do that? Why would you force him to go back to being a dragon? I had to. Spike wanted to stay a pony. The 5 other ponies and even Emerald gasped in shock. Yes, that was my reaction as well. He knew it meant only living another 10 years or so, but he said he'd rather live 10 years with me than go back to being a dragon. I couldn't. I wouldn't let him sacrifice his life for me, and so I made him promise he'd become a dragon again. Oh dear, I think I understand now. Rarity, you gave up your own happiness just for him, Fluttershy said. I'm hoping I don't have to give that up, Fluttershy darling. Even though he isn't a pony anymore, I still love him. I know some ponies may think it's wrong to love a dragon, let alone one that young, but I don't care. I still love him. It's not because he's a dragon or a pony, but because he is who he is. I'd do anything for my little Spike. Emerald lightly patted Rarity on the back. Well, I really have to give it to my baby brother. He really knows how to pick them, she chuckled. If you want, I'll talk to him about this when he gets back from Canterlot. And Rarity, please don't cry. You're a good pony, and I'm happy you love my brother so much. He's lucky to have you. I can't say that I'm entirely comfortable with this, but it's apparent that you really do have feelings for Spike, Twilight said. With that in mind, I'll help you however I can.
You can count on me and RD too, Rarity,
Applejack announced. Yeah, we'll help any way we can. Yay! This calls for a party! Pinkie shouted. I appreciate this, all of you, but no, I have to do this myself. If it's going to mean anything at all, I have to be the one to tell Spike that he's going to be a father.